finally a day off. I sure don't plan on reviewing any Call of Duty titles on the Nintendo DS today. Who is that? Come in, I guess? Da baby, what are you doing in my room? You're here to steal my PS Vita collection. I know it's incredibly valuable, but what do you want with my Vita games? It's not my fault you went broke since the LGBTQ community canceled you for being a homophobe. Please, just leave my Vita games alone. Is there anything else I can give to you? Any service I could perform? You want me to review every Call of Duty on the Nintendo DS? Well, considering my PS Vita game collection and my virginity is all I have of any worth, I guess I have to.
I will do what I must.
On November 5th, 2007, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare came out on Xbox 360, PS3, Wii, PC, and Nintendo DS? This is where our story begins. Call of Duty Modern Warfare was an absolute phenomenon that changed the gaming landscape forever. The first-person shooter games on the market at the time were either oversaturated World War II games or Halo. If you asked the average gamer in 2006 if the upcoming Call of Duty game had even a chance to compete with Halo, they would laugh in your face. Little did they know Call of Duty Modern Warfare was about to become the Halo killer and go on to sell a whopping 17.9 million copies.
But Modern Warfare wasn't the only thing taking over the gaming landscape in 2007. The Nintendo DS was absolutely obliterating the handheld market.
In November of 2007, the same month Modern Warfare came out, Nintendo hit a sales record of 653,000 DS systems. You may be thinking, 650K, that's not so much! But you'd be wrong. Nintendo sold that many DS systems in a mere week, so yeah, the DS was absolutely on fire, and so was the Call of Duty franchise. Due to the huge success of the dual-screen handheld and the Modern Warfare multiplayer shooter, it only made sense to marry the Activision and Nintendo entities. I have not played through all the campaigns of these games on consoles, so this is going to be looking at the games for what they are, rather than as a comparison to the console and PC versions. I also bought these games physically and will be playing on native DS hardware. I'm going to be covering each briefly because, let's be honest, there just aren't that many differentiating factors to these games.
Let's quit rabble-rousing and let's get into the meat and potatoes. This is Call of Duty Modern Warfare DS.
Wow, so this is Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Well, kinda. From what I've heard, the Nintendo DS version of Modern Warfare actually takes a lot of inspiration from the console counterparts, but I wouldn't blame you for not noticing. The game looks similar to an old PS1 first-person shooter. It also plays as stiff as an old PS1 first-person shooter. Think Medal of Honor with touchscreen controls. That is Call of Duty on DS. You move your character with the D-pad, or in my case, the action buttons, since I'm left-handed. Aiming, swapping weapons, managing and throwing stuns, and looking down sights is all relegated to the touchscreen. This means you're going to be using that stylus an awful lot in this game. Switching to grenades or swapping guns also feels clunky. In the heat of the moment, you'll be overwhelmed trying to manage your inventory on the touchscreen. Everything just takes a little bit too long for my liking. To aim down your sights, you have to double tap on the touchscreen. This makes you completely lose control of your aim, and it's tedious. However, actually aiming on the touchscreen is pretty nice. I'd say it's even more accurate than a thumbstick. The DS first-person shooter setup emulates a keyboard and mouse far more than the traditional controller. It's too bad the aiming controls are clogged down by the stiff and slow movement controls. If I had to compare Call of Duty Modern Warfare DS's controls to anything, it'd be banging your homeboy's mom. It sort of feels good, but you know deep down it's just wrong on so many different levels. But let's be fair, this is a Nintendo DS we're playing on here. The thing is not designed with first-person shooters in mind. The game plays alright considering the limitations of the hardware. I know I was saying the game looks like an old PS1 shooter earlier, but I didn't mean that as an insult. These are actually pretty impressive visuals for a handheld in 2007. Most of the missions are pretty basic linear shooting galleries. The bottom screen of the DS shows a map guiding you directly to your next objective, but these levels are so small and contained that it's hardly necessary. The enemy AI are extremely dumb, but don't think that just because the AI has the IQ capable of mashed potatoes that the game's gonna be a breeze. These bastards have crazy good aim. This is frustrating when you are surrounded and are fighting the wonky controls as much as you are the enemies. Oh, also, they're all identical twins. Again, what can you expect from an FPS running on a DS? The story here is, you guessed it,
dog butt.
A lot of the story is told through text and clip art. Not engaging, not worth talking about for any longer than I already have. In fact, none of these games have actual stories, but I can't compel myself to care. Modern Warfare on the DS has a lot of turret gameplay sections. I'm guessing it's because these levels are easier to make and save development time, considering they're literally on rails. These levels feel much more at home on the DS system. I think it's funny how there's no recoil in the machine gun at all. It just constantly shoots without missing a step. It's also funny how there are conveniently cans of gasoline just f***ing everywhere. This is one of my favorite video game tropes. I mean, these soldiers were dedicated. They hauled those heavy-ass gasoline tanks all the way up to the roofs of these warehouse buildings just so I could blow them up. I gotta give them credit for their efforts. The gun mechanics and explosion effects aren't exactly high-tech, but again, considering this is running on the Nintendo DS, I'm impressed. Modern Warfare on the DS is the only Call of Duty game on the system not to have the series staple online multiplayer. I know you are all violently shaking your fist and launching seemingly endless wretched verbal attacks towards your screen right now out of pure rage, but considering none of the other Call of Duties on DS still have active servers for online multiplayer, I hardly see why it matters here.
The game has local multiplayer if you have a friend who's also unfathomably nerdy enough to want to play COD on the DS with you.
Also, the game's really short. It's about 5 missions. It's exactly 5 missions, and none of them are that long, but I wouldn't have wanted it to be any longer anyways. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say on this one. On to the next. Jumping into 2008, we have Call of Duty World at War. The console version was developed by Treyarch and goes back to the series' root with a World War II setting. This seemed like a strange move on Activision's part considering how monumentally successful Modern Warfare was, but I will bet Call of Duty World at War was already deep in development during the boom of Modern Warfare. This did disappoint many fans at the time, but in retrospect, this was a high-quality World War II shooter with great gore effects, Modern Warfare-inspired online multiplayer, and a kick-ass campaign. World at War also included Call of Duty's very first Zombies mode, which became an absolute phenomenon. But did the DS version have zombies?
Nope. Did it have a kick-ass campaign? Also, no. I hate to break it to you, Call of Duty World at War DS fanboys, but this game is, kind of stinky, kind of smells a little bit funny, kind of reminiscent of, I don't know.
Elephant semen. But it's not all bad, it's actually pretty ambitious, so let's talk about the pros. The game got rid of the double tap to aim mechanic. Now you can just touch the aim reticle on the touchscreen. This is an improvement, but it took me some time to get used to it. Besides that small tweak, the game controls exactly the same as Modern Warfare DS. And again, I like the on-rails machine gun missions. I wish this was the whole game. It feels so much better just focusing on aiming and shooting rather than fumbling with the clunky movement and weapons management controls. Another upgrade from Modern Warfare DS is the increased amount of enemy character models. It's nice to see at least a bit of variety. Other things I like, I don't know, I like how this guy falls. It's funny. Oh, and yeah, World of War DS finally added online multiplayer. Please, control your excitement and hold the applause. I got a video to make here. In World of War DS, you play various missions from the perspectives of the American, British, and Russian soldiers. This game offers a lot more content than Modern Warfare, and I'm impressed with the level of variety here. Unfortunately, a lot of content isn't a good thing when the content makes me want to shove my peen in the DS stylus slot. Let's just get into the thick of it. I got murder beef with Call of Duty World at War on DS. This game is a lot like Modern Warfare DS, but is much more aspicious. Aspicious?
That's not a word.
Yes it is, I created it. Aspicious is described as when the result of ambition is ass. And Call of Duty World at War DS is the definition of aspicious. 3 small campaigns from 3 different countries' perspectives on World War II, all wrapped up in a first-person shooter for the Nintendo DS that was also made in less than a year? This game took a bite far too big for it to chew. Due to the increased scope of the game, it runs far worse. Multiple sections of the game chug. It's not anywhere near as smooth as the far more refined and condensed Modern Warfare campaign on DS. The title also feels poorly designed. Too many aspects of this game are weird, frustrating, and confusing. Alright, let's stop with all the hassle-hoffing and get into some examples. In this mission, I am instructed to pick up a sniper rifle. They placed a sniper rifle right in front of me on the ground. I fumbled around the weapon for minutes waiting for the touchscreen indicator for the weapon to pop up. It never did. I got pissed and attempted treason, but it only resulted in my own downfall. I later realized that all I had to do was swap the weapon with the touchscreen, and that the game had automatically added the sniper rifle to my character. But then why does the game tell me to pick up the rifle and place one right in front of me if they auto-equip it and I don't really need to pick it up? Why didn't they just automatically switch the gun into the rifle? And why is there literally no indicator that the gun has been added to my arsenal? This is horrible game design. The tank mission is another shit show of a level. I still don't know how to shoot my missile. I just line the box reticle onto the target and eventually it shoots. There should have been a button for missiles and a button for the machine gun. Or hell, even just have the missile fire with a touchscreen indicator. For some reason the game made this particular enemy Superman. His skin must be vibranium to take all the gunfire without so much as a blink. My main frustration with the game as a whole is the difficulty. And I played the game on medium. If you don't know where the enemies are coming from before they come, you're dead. Shooting through hallways is a blast, but as soon as you're in a more open area, it's a completely different story. The only way to play efficiently is to very slowly move around corners with your aim down sights at all times. You have to slowly peek from cover, killing enemies one at a time. I feel like the f***ing Pink Panther, not a badass soldier like Frank Woods. I don't want to be forced to play like this is Rainbow Six Siege, it's Call of Duty on DS. Let me run and gun and have some fun and shoot a ton and kill a nun and toast a bun and hold the power of the sun. Sorry for the cringe, I just had to. But anyway, why is this Call of Duty DS game quoting Gandhi and Cicero? I didn't know Nintendo had the rights to Martin Luther King. I have a dream that one day you'll be able to play the Call of Duty franchise on a Nintendo handheld with 2 f***ing screens and a stylus. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the heyday of teabagging noobs and 360 no-scoping.
Oh my god! Are they not recording? Are you recording, Crickshaw?
This particular Call of Duty is mega popular within the fan base. But wait, this game isn't Modern Warfare 2, well, at least not in name. This is Call of Duty Modern Warfare Mobilized, for some reason. I don't understand why the developers all of a sudden decided to add subtitles to the DS games, but whatever. Doesn't really matter. Like, come on, just look at the damn cover. This is MW2. And yeah, this game is basically identical to Modern Warfare. Don't get me wrong, this is an improvement from World at War, but there just isn't much new to talk about here. I was considerably less miserable playing this than the last game. But still, I kept getting insta-killed here and that was annoying. But that's just a section. The game overall isn't nearly as rage-inducing as World at War. This is far, far, far less punishing than World at War was. Like, you can actually run and gun here. Plus, the graphics look to have been given a slight upgrade, if you really squint, really get in there and look. I mean, maybe, yeah, maybe. Also, you can aim down sights by either double tapping or hitting the aim reticle on the touchscreen. And, this is good. Nothing wrong with options. Look at this little RC gadget. This is neat. This is cute. It's cute. I have nothing else to say. Like, what else is there to say about this? But let's keep playing and really dive deep into this game. Oh wait, nope. They're making me play Insomniac puzzles. F this game. I want to say right up front that I am biased towards this game. I had a really hard time growing up, and this game was actually a really bright spot in a dark place for me. Everyone's got those games that really help them, and even though it's kind of a meme, Black Ops DS was one of those games for me. Before we get into the game itself, look at the logo it came up with for the DS version. Like, for the home screen, I don't know. This just doesn't symbolize the game in any way at all, but it doesn't matter. It's just kind of weird. Black Ops DS is a major upgrade from all the other games in the franchise before it. Look at all the modes you have to choose from here. Admittedly, the only ones really worth your time are the campaign and that's right, zombies mode. Yes, this Call of Duty game on the Nintendo DS has zombies. But we'll get into all that hubbubaloo later. Now, this game is different from the other Call of Duty DS games. If you look at the back of the cover here, this game has both blood and gore. That's very, very rare for a teen-rated game, and the other COD DS games only had blood, so I'm expecting some seriously edgy stuff here. No, wait a second. They removed the Microsoft Paint looking blood effect from all the other games. This game has no blood. Well, unless you knife people. I don't know what was up the ESRB's ass when they rated this game. They looked at this and said, oh, this is just blood. But then they looked at this and said, now that is both blood and gore. This isn't a big deal, again, just kinda weird, kinda quirky. And I don't think zombies mode is the reason for the rating, because, spoiler alert, there isn't any blood in that either. But whatever, it literally doesn't matter, let's talk about the campaign. And wow, there's actually a lot to talk about for once. The mode has a decent amount of content, and these levels have a good amount of variety. Take a look at this level. Nothing screams Nintendo DS more than Russian military torture rooms. This level is cool. It starts you off with only a knife, and you have to stealth kill enemies until you can find a gun, and after that you can play the mission with whatever combat style peels your potatoes. I myself like to run a gun, as you guys probably know by now. This is the first time recording for this video that I actually found myself having a good bit of fun. Admittedly, it could be due to nostalgia, but I don't think so. Now, I know this is going to be a shocker, you never would have guessed this, but the game controls similarly to the other games. I'm not even trolling you, but it's a little different. They removed the option to double touch to aim, double touch, double tap, you know what I'm talking about. Also, now you can only have one primary weapon. But even though they took away some options, they gave you the option to aim using the X, Y, A, B buttons, but this feels so slow and clunky, I don't know why anyone would choose to play like this. The game replaced those annoying numbers puzzles with this hilariously easy radio action. I just don't see the point of including this. There are other things in the game like this as well, like why do I need to pull this lever down on the touchscreen to operate an elevator? It's just kind of pointless. As stupid as it may be, it's still a big upgrade from having to deal with the old game's puzzles, like those were a nightmare. The on-rails machine gun levels return here, but on water, and it's as fun as ever. It's always nice to just focus on aiming and shooting. The DS shines brightest in the more bare-bones gameplay experiences. In this level, you are in a helicopter and you actually have separate buttons for the machine gun fire and missiles, something Call of Duty World at War could not figure out on the DS. This is a fun level, I really enjoyed my time here. I'm glad the game only had me control the gun on the helicopter because I feel like it will be a nightmare controlling the chopper's flight controls while trying to aim and shoot. The only downside is you have to aim with the X, Y, A, B buttons, but it's not a huge deal, it's just kind of annoying. Well, maybe another downside is you have to bomb the enemy's campsite, like damn, is this a war crime? I don't know, it feels wrong. There's probably like women and children there, whatever, I'm not gonna think about it, let's move on. Look at me, mommy, I'm in the Air Force. Yeah, that's right, you get to play in a fighter jet. Like, come on people, this game has so much variety. They really tried here. It controls a lot like the chopper mission, but you do have a lot less control while aiming. It's much slower, and it is on rails, but damn, it's impressive. Watch me dodge missiles with this touchscreen command.
Do a barrel roll!
Little levels like this mix up the gameplay and are just really neat to see here on the DS. Let's get back to boots on the ground combat. In the final level, you parachute down to the enemy base, all by yourself. I gotta stop reading from my script, I sound like, you fly down to the base. I sound like the Burger King foot lettuce guy. Like, I just gotta do this. Okay, whatever, back to the game. Yeah, you fly down to the base and you're all by yourself. It's a really cool level. It's pretty climatic too. Like, you have to infiltrate the base and plant bombs to destroy it. I don't know, it's fun. I really enjoyed my time with this campaign. I've played it like 30 times as a kid. Like, if you're a fan of Call of Duty or just decent handheld shooters, I recommend this one. Now what you gamers all been waiting for. Yeah, that's right. Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies on Nintendo DS. There are 4 maps. House, which, believe it or not, takes place in a, you guessed it, house. Facility, which is a creepy abandoned research facility. Temple, an Indiana Jones-inspired place of jungle ruins, you know, a temple. And Overlook, a creepy house kind of reminiscent of Resident Evil 4. These maps are completely original, nothing like the console versions whatsoever, but I like having original maps. Facility is my favorite. I must have played thousands of rounds on this map growing up. Black Ops DS Zombies borrows heavily from the playbook of the console versions. It's the same idea, kill zombies, rack up points, open doors, buy weapons. All the mode's accoutrements are here, perks, mystery boxes, zombie dogs, you name it. The only real goal is to survive, and that goal is much harder here on the Nintendo DS. This mode is harder than me when I look at photos of John Stamos, and trust me, that's pretty damn hard. These zombies kill you in one hit, no exceptions, no BS. The one-hit death penalty and the clunky controls of the DS combine to make a very difficult zombies experience. By the way, the reason I didn't show gameplay of zombie dogs is because I couldn't even manage to get that far enough to see them. This game is super hard, especially when the dogs come in and the zombies start sprinting, but you know, I really can't get to those rounds anymore. I'm not good enough. The zombies take a large amount of shots to kill. Your best bet is to use the knife. Ironically, it's the strongest weapon, being a one-hit kill. Oh wait, why would zombies spell out aim for the head and blood on the walls? It's like they want me to kill them. Why are they giving me pointers to their death? I mean, if my flesh was rotting from my body, I'd probably want to die too, so you know, fair enough. I like the zombie head icons that pop up on the screen to alert you when zombies are getting too close. They're kind of nostalgic to me, and it's just unique to this version and quirky. I don't know, I like it. I mean, the whole game's quirky. This mode is frustratingly difficult, but is actually pretty fun and like so damn charming. Something about Call of Duty Nazi Zombies for Nintendo DS existing just brings a smile to my face, and I am very proud to be one of the original fans of the mode. Like, this gives me insane bragging rights.
Oh, you think your cock's big? Well, I'm an OG Black Ops DS zombie player. Yeah, that's right, buddy. I'm basically walking around with a baguette in between my legs, so, you know, keep it moving. Know your place.
Anyway, yeah, that is Call of Duty Black Ops on Nintendo DS, and I really loved this game as a kid. Coming back to it as an adult or 22-year-old man-child or whatever I am was a lot of fun. However, I can see the game isn't all I cracked it up to be as a kid. But that doesn't matter. You can love mediocre games. Hell, you can love terrible games. It's all subjective at the end of the day. As long as the game's fun to you, that's all that matters. Anyways, it's time to look at the very last Call of Duty ever released on Nintendo DS. This is Modern Warfare 3 Defiance. First off, again with the naming, why is this MW3 Defiance? The only thing this game is defying is the impossible odds of a MW3 DS game even existing. This icon wins the Guinness World Record for the lowest resolution picture of the MW3 guy. Jumping into the opening cutscene, you can immediately see a leap in quality compared to the past games. It looks like the developers are really getting a hang of this whole COD on DS thing. The graphics actually look improved. You can see tiny particles of snow falling throughout your screen. They added weather effects on a goddamn first-person shooter on the Nintendo DS. The environment looks more detailed and varied than the past titles. I also really like the new character models. Snow camo is dope. The game plays exactly the same as Black Ops DS. No upgrades here unfortunately, but I don't even know what they could have added to the control scheme. I think this is probably the best an FPS game on DS can possibly feel. Wait, watch this. My mans is just casually catching up on his emails with an AK-47 in one hand, in a blizzard. Whatever, let's just ignore that. Jumping into some gunfire, it's exactly what you would expect. Wait, this game has slow-mo shooting sequences? Maybe it's not exactly what you expect, cause this genuinely shocked me. Slow-mo is a staple of the console games, and it's just awesome to see it here. This is by far the easiest Call of Duty DS game. I like that though. I'm trying to record a YouTube video here, not develop a hernia. Also, thanks to the lower difficulty, I can quickscope noobs. Now this is Call of Duty to me. The game has real sniping sections too. Look at this. This is a cool way to mix up the gameplay and help better the pacing of the game. My only gripe with this section is it can be hard to see the enemies. I mean, they are wearing white camo on a snow-ridden battlefield. And the Nintendo DS screen resolution is absolutely no help here. The developers implemented these overhead strategy sections to the game for some reason. Think Halo Wars but for Modern Warfare. I was not impressed with these sequences. There are only two commands. One moves your troops and the other lets off your airstrike. But for some reason, you can only use your airstrike on vehicles and not enemy troops. Like, why? Whatever. All you have to do is avoid other troops and blow up enemy tanks, and it feels slow and clunky the whole time. It's really just a way of getting from point A to point B, and I feel like the game would have been absolutely fine without these sections. My only other gripe with this game is the return of the touchscreen puzzles and minigames, but I'm used to them at this point, so it didn't really bother me or shock me to see them here. Besides those minor nitpicks, this is an excellent FPS game on the DS. MW3 Defiance is absolutely the closest you can get to a console Call of Duty on the DS. I will always favor Black Ops DS due to nostalgia, but there's no doubt this is the best campaign out of the bunch. And yeah, I think I'm done reviewing DS games for now, at least first-person shooter ones. My hands hurt. I think I developed like stage 4 carpal tunnel. My finger bones are deteriorating faster than women's rights in Texas. If you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you. Like, it means the world to me that you would sit and watch an over 20-minute long video of me just rambling about Call of Duty DS nonsense. I don't know, it means a lot. I want to give a special shout out to Scoutfly for shouting me out on his live stream. That meant the world to me. Like, thank you so much. He's an absolute Chad, and he uploaded a really good video on the 50 Cent game, so I'm going to link that in the bio. Now I just have one more thing to say, so stay tuned.
Have you heard of BFF rugs? I'm sure you have. I mean, if you haven't heard of BFF rugs, you're a moron, because BFF rugs are the most gamer rugs on the market. Are you really a gamer if you don't own a BFF rug? I wouldn't say so. You're a virgin. No problem. Buy a BFF rug, and boom, you'll have women literally trying to scrape down your drawer out of pure lust for your gamer goodness on their toes. Do you see me dancing?
Yeah. That's not good, but yeah.
Oh, have you heard of cancer? Yeah, get a BFF rug, boom, gone, no cancer. Are you still walking on hardwood floors? That's some pussy shit, my guy. Get a BFF rug. Oh, you're not a gamer, you're a little pussy. Okay, Halloween rugs, look at that. You want to get spooky? We can get spooky. Oh, you are a gamer. Look at this Link rug. Look how cool this is. My boy Wesley, my childhood friend Wesley, my ex-boyfriend Wesley, he makes as good of rugs as he does love. So yeah, BFF rugs. Get a rug or I'll kill you in your sleep.